Okay, first of all, can you hear me? And we should be good. Ooh, this music bobs, but I don't know if it'll be too loud. At least it's loud for me. So I should turn my audio down. So we playing a game I ain't played before. So other than the first 2 chapters, everything will be my for real first reaction. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Ooh, okay. New game. We're gonna play the first game, and then if I want, I might play the other 2. So this is like the tutorial game, or tutorial 1. Gasp, gasp. Damn it, why me? I can't get caught, not like this. Ooh, bopping music. I want to turn my sound up, actually. Someone like him. Okay, just adjusting my audio. August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Boy, am I nervous. Right. Ooh, I should do different voices. That would get tiring quickly though. Oh, hiya, Chief. Ooh, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. This is a lot about you and your client as well. Thanks? Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out in any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over. My life, everything, it's all over. Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, it's him. Death, despair, oh, despair, Danganronpa. I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna die. Sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick! Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. How the... Bro! I'm trying to defend you though, bro. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished! I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Aw, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? Oh, poor guy. The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells bad, it's usually the Butts. The 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. I know people like that. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one, which is why I took the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm going to do. August 3rd, 10 a.m., District Court. Courtroom number 2. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The last name Butts, oh my god. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ahem. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. We'll be fine. Oh, hey, Skylar, thou hast arrived. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Gulp. Hands shaking, eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. This should be easy. State the name of the defendant. That's Larry. My ears, just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? Wait, uh-oh. They didn't say it, did they? Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name. That's because you never told me the victim's name. Oh, the victim. Of course I know the victim's name. I, just forgot temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. But the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press tab to check it at any time. So, tab. Cindy. Wait, there should be R. Victim. Cindy Stone. Remember to check it off and do it for me, please, I'm begging you. Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case? Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was hit with a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor, because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then, first, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was this statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. Statue added to the court record. Reviewing the case. Yeah, do you want me to go over what we have so far? So, our best friend, Larry Butts, has been accused of murdering his ex, Cindy, and, we owe him a favor, so this is our first real court case as a lawyer. So, you better be careful. Right, be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Use tab to check the court record frequently. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant. What? Okay, then. Mr. Butts to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help out your client's case. You know what? I'm gonna move my... Oops, not that. Oh, not what I meant to do. There. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. First case, protecting your friend. No pressure. Yeah. Ahem. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Harsh? Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Didn't they all die? Yeah. I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my calls or seeing me, ever. Momentary tea break, sorry. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned home from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies, all of it, lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Passport added to the court record. Instead, she appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Oh god. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? That's leading. Should I? Yeah, we should stop him. Ooh, Vince, he looks like he's been hit in the stomach. He's like, oh gosh. I have to take a poop. Grandma. I'm sorry. It was exaggerated. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused motive is clear to everyone. Yeah, okay. Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is not looking so good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Cool. Well, did you or did you not? Maybe I did, and maybe I didn't. Have him answer, honestly. I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there, I went. Order. Well, Mr. Butts? Dude, chill. She wasn't even home, man. So, like, I didn't see her. The man who found the victim's body. Just before making the gruesome discovery, he saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. With all their sweating, they're going to need to drink a lot of water. I see that. Like a lot of water, like enough water that like makes up for twice what I drink of tea, and I drink like 6 cups a day, maybe. Mr. Payne, the prosecution. Oh, his name is Payne. The prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand. That's the murderer. Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions. Is this correct? Oh, yes, newspapers, yes. You may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving. Dead! I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against testimony like that. Maybe he did tell the truth. At the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sawitz used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Blackout record added to the court record. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. This should be easy. Alright. Right, this is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? First witness definitely looks like a liar. All that smiling shouldn't be around a murder case. I agree with you. He's, like, doing this, too, and I find that, like, really weird. It just makes me very uncomfortable. Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. This is going to be really short. I'm just going to spoil it. It's going to be short. Okay. Open the court record with tab, then point out the contradictions in the testimony. It looks weird. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The problem with that is that the blackout was at 6 p.m. the blackout was from noon to 6 p.m. There is a contradiction in there somewhere, I swear. I'm gonna try using this anyways. Oh, well crap, there goes my credibility. I had this the first time, and then I was like, okay, this should be easy. I'll just roll through it. Is the TOD on here? Yeah, the TOD is on here. That's the problem. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death as sometime after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, that. This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. Yeah, he was too scared to go inside, but the phone was inside, and he ended up going to one at a park, which is his testimony. But we don't believe that, do we? Mr. Sowett, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Well, gee, that's a really good question. Great job, right? Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out the contradiction. Lies always beget more lies. See through one and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? You know, every time a witness has to redo their testimony, it kind of ruins their credibility a little bit more. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. Which is not possible because there was a blackout, my buddy. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a tape program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. You know what to do. I've got this one. This one is really easy. Time of discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. And we are just gonna bring up the fact that there was a blackout. Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. This record proves it. Now he's moving faster. He's like, whoop, 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 whoop. Oh my gosh, dude, that's ridiculous. He couldn't have heard a television or a video. Gah! Well, Urk. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Solid? No, I find it quite puzzling myself, quite. Ah, wait, I remember now. Mr. Solid, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It, must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Solid. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There's a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. There is a table clock in the apartment. Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. It doesn't say that it's a clock. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? You with your objections and your evidence, just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Sawit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see. But the murder weapon was a table clock, after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with this testimony now? Yeah, sure bet I do. How do you know? Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove I went in there. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sawit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. Just look at the witness's face. Table clock? I kept hearing tablecloth. Did I say tablecloth? Oops. Grah. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never. Look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, I saw. He was wearing a toupee. Go back and screenshot my freaking face. Oh my gosh. Shut up. I hate you. It was him, I tell you, I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn. Burn! Give him death. Order. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I'd better think it through carefully. The sound Mr. Salwitz heard was definitely this clock, a fact which is clear if you simply... I said table clock. Sorry. Let's sound the clock now here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. Beep. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker after all. Okay, so I think I'm going to finish this, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to stop this stream and start another one where I continue to play the Somnium Files so that you can watch a bit of that, and so we stay not just playing one game over another. Well, he is the thinker after all. So we've heard the table clock. Clock. It just says clock. So what are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. Act! As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Salwitz heard and the actual time of death. Try to talk your way out of this one. Ha! Ha ha! You forgot one thing. Uh-oh. What's he talking about now? While it may seem like the clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? Sorry, I'm doing a dramatic voice now. If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it. I was so close. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Salwitz. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal. You lawyers are all slime. Grr, I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Salwitz. Chief. Listen up, right? Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Oh, right. Right. I'm right. Right. Wait. Maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Right? Okay, I'm never gonna stop. Find it and let them have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. She was in Paris. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in the apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sawit, or should I say Mr. Did It? Oh, boys. Boy freaking foaming at the mouth. Boy. Order, order, I say. Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness. He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have to say I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. I think we had a lucky case. I think that's what this was. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. And with that, this court is adjourned. It turns out that Frank Sawit was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sawit let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sawit grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m. District Court. Defendant lobby number 2. Woo! I still can't believe we won. Right! Good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking at this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. Yeah, definitely a lucky case. I don't think it was how good of a lawyer we are. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Aw, Nick, don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Oh, gosh. Good. Wait, no. I mean, bad. That sounds like a conversation between me and Elijah. Sorry, Elijah. I love you. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Windy's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was a... Nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. His name is Larry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts. Harry Butts. I'm sorry. I'm immature. It's not my fault they named him Larry Butts and she called him Harry Butts. Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this, ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, my treat. Oh, no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you just want to cry? Sob. Larry. Squeeze me? I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing. Really. Isn't that right? Right. I'm right. I'm right. Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh, yeah, right. Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? What about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. She took it with her when she traveled. Whatever, she probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. Hope that made him feel a little bit better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right? Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner on me? We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Butts. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Harry, you're saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime, maybe over drinks. And so, my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends. I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us, unless you count the clock he gave me." I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident, and my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. The end. Okay, I'm gonna skip this, and we will play this next chapter later. So, we'll probably get another overview of this. And then I'm going to play another game. Well, we saved, so I can just close it. Okay, so that's the end of today's Ace Attorney. Next, I will be playing the Somnium Files again. Hopefully. I need to go to the bathroom, and then I'll be right back, and I'll play the Somnium Files, and we'll have fun, and it'll be great. And look, there's many of me. Ooh, look at the delay. There's no delay. I will be right back. So this is not goodbye. It's just I will be right back to play the Somnium Files.